Even if you don't connect with a specific genre, as a beatmaker and music producer, listening to, breaking down, and even making songs within that genre will provide you a wealth of knowledge. What's up guys, Barry here, and if you're new to the channel, we talk about hip-hop, beatmaking, and general music production. So if that's your thing, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. With that said, in today's video, we're going to take a look at Native Instruments expansion pack entitled Bumpin Flava. It's an expansion pack for UK Garage, aka UK Garage, depending on where you're from. For short, we'll just call it UKG. As a predominantly hip-hop producer, we're going to attempt to take some of the characteristics of this genre and make a beat within this genre. So with that said, let's jump into Maschine and check out this expansion pack. Like many dance-oriented genres, UK Garage is rooted in the rhythm. Let's jump into Maschine and see if we can find that UKG groove. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is set the tempo, and a lot of UKG is between 120 and 140 BPM, so let's set it down the middle at 130 BPM. Alright, and now with the tempo set, let's check out some of these drum one-shots in the Bumpin Flava expansion pack. And upon just looking at the names, I like how that they come in sets, so you can have your main kick and a ghost kick. Alright, cool. So let's load these ones up and we'll draw in some MIDI notes to play a 4 on the floor kick drum pattern. Alright, straightforward enough. Let's see what kind of claps this pack has. Alright, so we'll load in that clap and we'll draw in a note on the 4. Next, let's go through some of the snare sounds and see if we can find something to finish off this backbeat. So similar to the kick drums, you have a lot of great pairings in your snare drums, which will allow you to have your main hit followed by an accompanying ghost hit. So let's go ahead and just draw some snares on the 2 and 4. So let's use those ghost snares to see if you can start to find this UKG rhythm. Four on the floor is great, but it's more reminiscent of house. Let's remove the 2 and 4 and see what kind of rhythm that creates. Shifting the second kick drum to the upbeat would get us to a 2-step rhythm, which is closer to the UKG genre. That's a great starting point. Let's find an open hi-hat to create some bounce. We'll use that hi-hat and draw in some MIDI notes on the upbeat. And the last element that we need are closed hi-hats to create that UKG shuffle. From here, let's draw in some MIDI notes to see what we can come up with. With that rhythm set, let's move around some of these MIDI notes to see what kind of variation in the hi-hats we can create. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the pattern. Let's select all of our hi-hats and just bring down that volume a little bit. Our drum pattern is missing one key element, and that's swing. So let's introduce some swing to see if we can really capture that UKG vibe. Native Instruments always does a great job collaborating with individuals within that music community. This expansion pack is in collaboration with multi-instrumentalist and sound engineer Alexkid. Whether old or new, you'll hear vocal chops all throughout UK Garage. Let's see what kind of vocal chops this expansion pack has to offer. Let's audition some of these vocals with our beat. This vocal chop will work. I just don't like the weird stuttering at the end. So let's just change it to gate mode and we'll highlight the section that we want to hear. Let's see if there's any other vocal chops we can add to this beat.
Wicked, wicked.
It was a pleasant surprise to see this many massive presets in this expansion pack. Let's finish off this beat with some of these presets. Sometimes in Maschine, your plugins will load up in this condensed view. All you have to do is hit the pencil icon to expand the VST. If you're not familiar with Massive, you can select your presets from the top. Or a more preferred method is to go through the browser and select your bank names to narrow down your search results. Your newest banks would be on the very bottom, so we'll find Bumpin Flava on the very bottom. Once selected, you'll find all of your presets that belong to that bank on the most right column. The only problem with going through presets through the VST is that you cannot audition the sounds. So if you want to do so, you should be loading up your VSTs through the hardware. So we'll navigate to the instrument page and we'll scroll through until we find Massive. From there, you can select your bank. Inside the hardware, it's organized alphabetically. And from there, you can audition your sounds. So let's give some of these presets a listen. So let's start by recording this organ sound. But before we do that, I want to change the keyboard range on Maschine. So looking at the vocal chop, we see that it's an F sharp minor. And this is a pro tip: if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you can change your keyboard range to start in the key of your sample. Next, let's record the bass. Lastly, let's see if we can create a lead with this synth sound. So we have all of our main elements. Let's go through some more one-shots to see if we can add some more ear candy. Alright guys, so that was quite a few sounds that we were able to use from this Native Instruments expansion pack, Bumpin Flava. With this being my first UK garage beat, hopefully we were able to capture a little bit of that vibe. Let's give it one last listen, and down in the comments, let me know what other genres you want to see me attempt. Alright guys, as a quick overview on Native Instruments expansion pack Bumpin Flava. And as a hip hop producer, I was able to find a few parallels between the two genres, but the most important one in both hip hop and UK garage is the fact that groove rules all. With that said, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and happy beat making. Peace.